Now we have this plate, we have our cut-off log. We're going to center, I think we'll make that the base. We center it on this plate with spikes. And then we knock looks fairly reasonable. So if we look at our washing machine motor, it's got this little pulley, it's got a hole, and this exactly matches that. So we just place that on here. We put this in there, tighten it. Now, this tends to squeak a little bit, so we have to raise this pulley just a little bit so it doesn't squeak. Seems okay. So this is tightening this onto this pulley. Now we have a foot pedal here, which we press down on, and as we press down on that, now always starting off, it's very rough. So that started to peel the bark off. One can peel the bark off before. As this gets smoother and rounder, it gets easier and less. When it's starting to look a bit finer, one can go to the So there's a fairly rough bulge here. I can feel that catching. So I'm going to go back to this saw in that area. So now we've got a finer blade saw. So when you stop it, you can see how it's looking. Now, this is part of a Stanley blade. This thing works a treat at smoothing. Unfortunately, I broke it. So let's try it just holding it like this. It has a certain roughness on there. So let's hold it here. And this tends to smooth it off beautifully. See, it's getting quite a lot smoother already using this Stanley blade. When that's smooth enough, then you go for this very rough sandpaper, P40. That makes it a whole lot smoother. A whole lot smoother. So that's looking quite fairly smooth. We're almost, there are one or two ridges there that have to be sanded out. Then we go for a slightly, this is a sandpaper that's 100 grit. Right. I think we brushed the side a little bit, so let's go back to our very yeah, it's more or less gone. Now it's all smooth everywhere. Let's go then for our finer grit sandpaper with a sponge. So that is 120 grit sandpaper. It feels super, super, super smooth. Now, suppose I'm going to turn this into a candlestick and want a hole in the exact middle. So I take a kogi and I spin this. And there is the exact middle. So suppose I want to make this into a candlestick holder. I then take my drill and put it into now, if I want to enlarge the hole, I'm going to put the drill in and start this turning. So there's a hole almost ready for a candle. Just needs to be a touch bigger. So there we are for our candle. And we can take some really rough sandpaper. I like to wrap it around a piece of plastic. Put it in. Get a piece of the finest grit again. I don't know why it's a little off-centered. You can see it's a little thinner on the side, a little wide on that. Maybe this moved a bit. But it all looks pretty fantastic. So now we just get a screwdriver and lever this candlestick off. You might ask, what about the bottom? The bottom is still a bit rough. It's even still got its bark on. But you know, I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Leave it as it is. Let's just find a screwdriver. So one has to poke this under here and lift. Poke, lift, turn around. Poke, lift, poke, lift. So this is absolutely, well, there's a slight, we could sand that out, but it's smooth as a baby's bottom. Beautiful on top, smooth as anything. And you could see just one or two places one could work on, but one can still sand those out. There's a little bit there, but with a very fine sandpaper. Clean up the bottom. And then I just take some ordinary sunflower oil. Paint it. One can still clean up the bottom. But I like to, this is a wet log, I like to keep it, it'll soak in. You can still work on it. And just look how nice that looks. I'm going to just look how beautiful and smooth that looks. As I say, there's a few impurities, but you can always take a bit of fine sandpaper and just sandpaper them out, let the oil soak in. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Great. So here's the one I've just made, and here are some that I've made this past week. I think I quite like this one. Quite beautiful inside.